What is up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. So today in this video we're going to talk about 9 stocks in this video. So please hit that thumbs up button. That is greatly appreciated and that really helps out with YouTube algorithm. And if you want to support the channel and get my daily trade ideas, my swing trade ideas, 3 days of live trading in my Discord, definitely check out the Patreon. I'll leave a link down below in the description. And if you are new to this channel, consider subscribing. And now let's get right into it with Nvidia, which is down on the day 1%, where everything else in the market today went to the moon. The whole market went to the moon except Nvidia today. I mean, this thing was going today. Early in the morning was up. And look at this, again 405, but once again for the third time on Nvidia, getting a rejection at 400 and coming down and also holding a higher low, holding above blue line 5 SMA, sitting at 392. So going into next week on Monday, 392 will be a key level of support on Nvidia, and if that gives up, we could be coming all the way down to 375 and then possibly down to 345.86 at some point. I don't know when that is going to happen, but that is also possible on Nvidia. But going into next week on Monday, that's going to be a key level of support, 392, and to the upside, it needs to break 400. And if that happens, we're going to see a move back up to 414.88 and then 420 on Nvidia. Now, would I be buying Nvidia because of this dip? No, I'm not interested here on Nvidia stock at this level. I'm not shorting, I'm not doing anything. Let this stock run, do whatever this stock wants to do, but I'm not touching this stock, especially at 400, guys. I mean, this thing, yes, a lot of retail traders, they love Nvidia, but I'm one of those traders, like if this thing is up so much, I know I can make money. But there are so many other opportunities in the market except Nvidia. I did a call out 2 days ago on Caterpillar at 207, and look at that monster today, 226. So why would I go and chase Nvidia and Tesla every day, where I have other stocks that I can trade, and those are also big names that I can trade. I can avoid Nvidia at all cost. Not buying here. If there is a decent dip, maybe I'll get something. But right now, I got some SOXS shares, and I'm just holding. If this thing at some point gets back down to 345ish right here, SOXS will go up to $16 to $20. I can easily make money on my shares on that one, but not shorting Nvidia, not buying any calls on this stock. On AMD stock, also a down day, 1.35% and barely holding 118 as a support. AMD was trying to rally today, also got up to 121.66, and if you look at my screen, rejection by this blue line 5 SMA, and now barely sitting at 118. So that is going to be a key level of support, 118, but I think AMD can come all the way down to 113.20 going into Monday, and that is going to be a big level of support also below 118. And if that gives up, guys, AMD went up with no news, nothing. Just a sympathy from Nvidia, this thing can definitely come all the way down to 109 to close this massive gap on AMD. And that would be somewhat of a dip buy on AMD stock. To the upside, 118 can hold. Watch out for the resistance at 121.57, and if that breaks, 125 to 130 possible on AMD. On Netflix, is down 0.66% on the day, just like AMD and Nvidia. But early in the morning, this thing was up all the way up to 406.58, and now it's down to 400, holding now 400 as a support. Now on Netflix, yesterday I took some puts at 404, and luckily I got out today with some profit, because look at this move, guys. From 395 went back up to 400. So this thing now holding 400 as a support, but below that we also have support now. Blue line 5 SMA 394, gap down here 380, 376, 380, and then 371 right here, 13 SMA on this daily chart. Now to the upside, 400 can hold going into next week on Monday. We could see 410 to 420 on Netflix. On Apple, stock is down close to 0.5%, and Apple once again closing above 180 and right now sitting at 181 or past 181 after our session. Now on Apple stock, that previous all-time high right here, 182.94. So that is what I'm looking at going into next week on Monday as a resistance on Apple above 180. But if this thing actually breaks under 180, then watch out, guys. We could be retracing 178.20 blue line 5 SMA right here on this daily chart, and below that watch out for 176 down here to close this gap, at least in the short term, before heading higher on Apple stock. Apple definitely on a monstrous run to the upside, and I think at some point we're going to see a correction here on Apple stock, but maybe after hitting a new all-time high, possibly running even higher, 185 to 190. But I could be wrong, guys. This thing here, if you look at this RSI 72 on this daily chart, weekly I think at 71. So getting up there, extremely overbought right now, and Apple stock breaks under 180, this thing can come down, possibly down to even 176 to close this gap down here. And now we also have strong support at 174.37 white line 20 SMA. So on Meta, absolutely flat day, and this thing cannot just move higher. And look at this, guys, RSI going through the roof, 84 on this daily chart, and not to mention look at this weekly, 77. So Meta definitely getting extremely overbought, and I think we're going to see a pullback soon or later. But still, that price target on top, 290, that is possible. We do have a doji on Meta right here on this daily chart. So indecision going into next week, we will see what decision Meta will make next week. If this thing actually going to come down to 265 to close this gap, and then possibly move higher all the way up to 290. Now 266 to 265 right here, this gap, that's going to be a big support on Meta, and if that gives up, watch out for 255 and then 248. To the upside, Meta can hold above 265 to 266 blue line 5 SMA. We could see a move still on Meta all the way up to 290 before getting any major correction here on the stock. On Microsoft, it's up 0.85%, and look at this move here on Microsoft, finally up to almost 338 before getting a rejection, and now it's holding above 332, holding above blue line 5 SMA on this daily chart. So that is going to be a key level going into next week to watch as a support, 332, and if that gives up, watch out for 323, 13 SMA on this daily chart, 318, and then the gap at 316.50. To the upside, 332 can hold, and Microsoft can actually break 338. We could see a new all-time high on Microsoft, and that is possible going into next week. Only thing here on Microsoft, it needs to break 338. On Amazon, stock is up 1.21%, and look at this explosive move on Amazon. Finally, the gap on top is closed at 125, and now we got a gap down here, 123.49. So watch out next week. Amazon might be coming down here to fill this gap at 123.49, and we also have support at 122 blue line 5 SMA. That's gonna be a dip buy going into next week on Monday, as long as Amazon can hold the support 122. To the upside, 125 breaks on Amazon, we could see another leg up all the way up to 130. On Google, stock is up 0.69%, and Google is still in that consolidation right here. We could be flagging right here on Google stock, and soon as the stock breaks 126 to 127, this thing can fly all the way up to 130 to 132. Now Google stock, we still have this gap down here at 122.75, and we also have support at 123. So next week on Monday, if this thing actually coming down here at 122.75, filling this gap and it's holding right here, then I'm buying this dip and day trading Google. Now below that we also have support, strong support now, and Monday white line 20 SMA, this thing will move up even more. So I would say 120 is going to be a key level to watch. Also below this gap 122.75. But if this thing can hold right here and then break 126 to 127, it's going to fly all the way up to 130 to even 132. And look at this explosive move on Tesla, and I've been calling it out, guys. It's up 3% today. I've been calling it out that 200 is coming. It came, and then I said 200 breaks. Even last night we could see 220. I just didn't know that it's going to happen that quickly. But especially with that debt ceiling crisis is gone now. They raised it. Fed possibly going to pause, and that means one thing: rally. And we've seen that today. Everything rallied today, guys. So Tesla here, right now it's getting a bit frothy, bit overextended. So I think a pullback is due, and that's going to be healthy on Tesla. If this thing actually gets down to 203.95 to retest blue line 5 SMA, or possibly down to even a bigger support, 200, the breakout, that will bring a lot more buyer on Tesla to buy this dip. So Monday, if there is a dip here on Tesla down to 200, 204, that's going to be an absolute dip buy on Monday here on Tesla stock. Now to the upside, if somehow Tesla gaps up and breaks 220, it's gone. I'm talking about 250s on Tesla, and that can happen in really quick time. So watch out. Tesla should be on your radar, and this is going to be the next big mover in the market. We could see Tesla going up even more. This is nothing, from 100 to 220, came down, consolidated right here, and now we're going back up. So this is healthy move on Tesla, unlike some of the other stocks like Meta. No pullback, nothing, just going up every day, gapping up. Tesla, definitely I like this setup, coming down, pulling back, and now I would like to see at least retesting 200 to 203.95 blue line 5 SMA, and then possibly break out above 220. And if that happens, 250s on Tesla definitely coming. And that is all I have for you guys in this video. Have a great weekend, everybody.